Hey guys, it's Emily back with another speed build. This was actually a request build that I got from a Facebook build group I'm on, and so somebody had a floor plan and the front picture of the front of the house, and so I built this for them. I heavily use the tool mod in this. You don't need it to place it in your world. There is no custom content, so you absolutely can place it. Even though I used a mod to create it, it's not a conflict or an issue. I apologize ahead of time. This build is very abbreviated. I kind of just give the highlights just because there is so much alternative build methods, so you'll see a lot of me skipping a lot of things. Unfortunately, it would have been like a 2-hour build if I had included everything. I really skipped over the decorating. I really wanted to focus on the building because I do use so many alternative build methods with the tool mod. The first one you'll see right here is a placing of roofs. You can get different heights. You'll see here that I basically built a little room and I'm sliding it up and down to get the roof height adjusted to that little partial wall. And so there's varying heights for the roof. You don't need any mods to do that. The shutters here, I'm using actually curtains, and then again using that mod to rotate them in a way you normally wouldn't be able to. And so they look kind of like, they're exterior shutters. For the front of the house here, I used, you'll see some shelving. I just used the basic flat shelf, and I again used the tool mod to rotate it in an alternative way to create the pillars that you're going to see. That little pop-up you're seeing is me using the tool mod. There's info videos on how to use it. If you have any questions, if you want to put it in your own game to use some of these techniques. Here I'm placing garage doors, and basically you build a basement and then you can place the doors and position them the way you want it. You can't actually use them, so I ended up placing alternative ways for them to access those rooms. I'm using a debug item to create a little handle here, so that it looks like, doors that you could actually open. Again, there's a lot of debug items, just because I wanted to have a real custom look and make it look exactly like that picture. I ended up placing these shelves, the floating shelves, to kind of bulk up the trim of the roof. And in some areas, when you're placing the roof in an alternative way, the trim actually disappears, and so that was a way to recreate the trim and have it be more consistent around the entire house. Here I'm using the little rolled up towels as accents. Again, here you'll see I'm trying to place the roof in an alternative way, alternative height that isn't just the snap to versions that you would have in the kind of normal build. Again, you don't need any mods to do that. You just build the first floor, put a second floor on top, delete the first floor, and then you can drag that second one up and down to the height that you want. So that was a little neat trick. All of these tricks I have found on YouTube. I didn't come up with any of them on my own. I'm gonna actually put the inspiration links in the description so you can check all those out for yourself if you want kind of a more detailed view on how to do these things. Here I ended up sizing up that archway to make an architectural look that the picture had. And then I'm just elevating curtains to kind of fill in that gap. Again, you don't need any mods for this. This you could achieve just on your own without that tool mod. I really enjoyed this build. It took me a couple weeks to complete it. I really nitpicked to make sure it looked exactly like the picture, and the floor plan was as true to the floor plan that the person had requested. I did have to make some changes just to accommodate certain things, but for the most part, I really tried to stick true to the pictures that were provided. Here, you're seeing me rotating the shelves and moving the shelves to create those pillars. I needed something bulkier and also something that was off the grid to cover up the archway. You'll see down below there's the black goes all the way down, and I didn't want to have that black showing, and so this was my way that I came up with to hide that. And again, it's based off of the picture that I had. The pillars in the picture were offset like you see, and so I really wanted it to be true to the picture. So I'm building this garage here. It is technically an attached garage, and again, in order to get those doors to look like they're on floor level, you have to place them from below, and that's why your Sims can't access, because there technically is a foundation and they would need stairs to get up to it. You'll see here that, again, because of the picture, the wall looked too high, and so I wanted to place the roof a little bit lower, and I ended up making that garage part, the wall shorter, and then the storage area, again from the floor plan, also has the shorter walls, and then behind it is full length walls, or full height walls. I'm really pleased with the way that came out. I struggled with it. Again, you won't see a lot of that because I edited so much, but in the end I think it really pretty much looks exactly like the picture, and I'm so pleased with the way it came out. Again, there's so much little teeny work that I did in order to make it look like it, and so I had to leave a lot of that out because it would have made for a very lengthy video. Here I'm using the tool to rotate the windows. I did this in the Foxberry build. I made a complete circular room, and so this is just that same concept. Check that out if you want to see like the full version of how I did that. This would be considered an outdoor room because it's not actually enclosed. It works for my gameplay. If you want to enclose that room, definitely you could put up walls and just follow the pool line there and then add your windows. It won't be the round look, but then you could have an enclosed area. The pool area, there's a lot of instructional videos of how to get that infinity pool look. I think they added it to base game, that clear foundation, but it was with one other pack, I think maybe Get Together. I don't remember exactly which one, but I think it's in base game now. And so I love that infinity pool look. You can definitely YouTube infinity pool if you didn't catch how I did it. Again, here I am, I have a lot of different roof structures and trying to figure out how to make the roofing work because, again, there was no picture of it. I just had the frontal picture, and so I'm kind of having to make a lot of it up as I go and trying to make it make sense. So here again, you'll see me dragging the roof in an alternative way. This area too, the outdoor area, I end up leaving it open to the elements again, so like the whole kitchen and that living room, dining room area inside technically is considered outdoor. You'll see here I'm going to delete the exterior walls, but again, you can close that off if you are bothered by Sims wandering in or what have you. This door is actually functional. That's how they can get into that room. Here's what I'm talking about. This is technically open, but if you really don't like that aspect, definitely enclose that and, you know, add some windows, full-size windows. However it fits your gameplay. Here I'm adding a two-sided fireplace. You shrink down the window, and then it leaves a gap in the wall. And these are debug wood-burning logs if you want to search for that. And then I'm just using the 9 key to raise them on PC anyway, and creating a little like fireplace area that is, you can see through it from both rooms. And again, I will link my inspiration I found on YouTube for this idea. I really like the look of it. You shrink down an existing fireplace. You need to be able to access it, so you'll see I'm kind of trying to keep it poking out because your sim needs to be able to click on that in order to light it. And so that's why I'm not hiding it completely, just because you need to be able to click on it. I have to delete the wall in order to not have the fireplace or the shelves snap to the wall, so that's why you see I'm deleting the wall repeatedly. It's a lot of little finicky work. Again, this whole build was a lot of finicky work, but I really think it's beautiful in the end, and a lot of sort of alternative things that you don't see very often. And so I feel like it's a really special build because of that, and definitely I got my inspiration on YouTube. There's so many great builders out there that come up with these ideas that are just gorgeous. Absolutely just a big inspiration. YouTube, definitely, if you're a builder, start watching YouTube. Again, I'll provide the links so you can check those out. Here is the most finicky part of the build. You'll see I have those curved headers above the porch here. Basically, I'm taking that little table, I shrunk it down, I'm using the tool mod to rotate it so that it's a square, and then I elevate it, and again, the tool mod I use to rotate it in an alternative way that you normally wouldn't be able to in order to create these shapes. And I use that arbor you see sticking out, or that, I don't even know what it's called, it's like a decorative wall, you know, thing that goes over the window or whatever. I'm using that as my guide for my shape. And on the right and left, I shrunk it down one, so the middle one is bigger, and then the side, that, you know, the two on the side are actually a little bit smaller, because that's how, again, the picture that I was referencing has that those dimensions or those ratios that are a little bit different. Here I wanted to have shutters, again, per the picture, and I used these debug posts, and then I'm shrinking down curtains and just placing them inside, and I feel like it really gives you the look of a shutter, and so I use that several areas around the house. I have to cut some of them, so I only showed you the first couple, but here is a multi-level deck. Basically, you can't have the two foundations touching, they have to be spaced apart by one, but then you can fill it in, as you see that I did, to kind of make it look level and incorporate, you know, so that it's flush. So here I wanted to have some alternative lights. Again, I'm using, I don't even know what that object is, but I use the tool mod to rotate them to create these boxes for just some different lighting in the kitchen. And, you know, it's pretty cool. Something that you don't see every day, and I really like the look of it. Here I'm using an alternative version of that two-way stove or fireplace. This one, again, you shrink down the window. it's not two-way. I mean, it would be if I had the other side of the wall open, but basically the exact same concept. Placing the logs, placing a little shelf for a footer, or something to go underneath the logs. And again, you have to delete the walls because those shelves want to snap to the wall. Same with the fireplace, it wants to snap to it. So make sure if you're doing this yourself that those walls are gone so you can place them accurately. And again, when you place the fireplace, it has to be showing a little bit so you can click on it. And the fireplace can be functional, just like you see here. You can click on it and then it is usable. This was definitely a fun build. It really used my creative skills, which is something I just love, to be able to use my creativity. Here is a awesome floating sink, or like a bowl sink. You can use a shelf if you want. I use these 2 debug boards placed with the red shelf so you can get the correct level. And I'll provide the link of my inspiration here. You can place your items using that red shelf again, and everything will be perfectly situated height-wise. Please check out my links that I provide, and thanks for watching.